got discouraged because I would always do my preparation, and that's another thing for young actors coming up. What I learned, what overrules everything, just like my basketball career and this preparation. You got to work. You got to be ready. So, because it could be the most minute reason that you didn't get the part. You could look like somebody. You could be a better actor. You could. There's so many reasons. But when you're a young actor, you don't think like that. You just say, "Oh man, well, I don't think I'm cut out for this." You know, I would give up because you're shattered. You're starting something new. But the more you get the veteran status, you understand that you just do the work and say, make them wish that they had selected you when they see you in something else.
That's dope, bro. It's a can't lose, won't give up attitude. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right. I'm from Brooklyn, man. So you know it.
I was gonna say, tell them where you from, B, because they gotta know.
Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, man, the old Bed-Stuy.
Oh, pre-gentrified.
Bang bang, shoot 'em up. Biggie Smalls.
That's what's up, man.
We tough. So that's the other thing because I know every borough has their thing, but Brooklyn, was the toughest people on the planet, man, because we're gonna find a way. So that's all the thing that it is. But you gotta prep. Even when you do, somebody gives you a chance because there's nothing like in anything. Somebody give you an opportunity. Say you want to be a lawyer at a firm, and then you go talk to your interview, and you messed up your chance. So if I go there acting like I go in an audition room with the producers and directors there, my job is to be prepared.
Yeah.
That's my job. I cannot control them selecting me, but I can, with my performance, I can say, this guy, that's the role. So it's always preparation for anybody out there. Prepare, and then when you finish, prepare some more. That's it.
That's what's up. So tell me, what was the first big job that you got? You was on a set and it was around, people that you might, seen on TV and all of that kind of stuff that kind of wowed you. What was that first big joint?
Oh, wow. This is a part of the good story. My first really big job was, I'd have to say, for Love of the Game with the Academy Award winner, Kevin Costner, directed by Sam Raimi. At that time, Sam Raimi was directing he was getting ready to direct Spider-Man, all that other stuff. So that was it. And the caveat with this thing is it gets deep because when we were doing the film, I didn't realize we filmed at Yankee Stadium, which was another thing.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's a dream come true.
This is the
old Yankee Stadium, right?
Old Yankee Stadium. So here's a guy from Brooklyn. I'm actually in the locker room where Babe Ruth's locker was, and Thurman Munson and Willie Randolph, and it's just like it's like the most surreal feeling you'll ever be to be on the field and in the locker room at Yankee Stadium, man. I know you know what I'm saying. So that was
I would have been in heaven.
It was so incredible, man. I think I floated back home the next day. I don't even remember how I got back home because I was like, wow. I went to my mom and said, we were on the field at Yankee Stadium, man. And I was like, wow. And then Kevin Costner was there, big star at the time. He was a huge, real, bona fide superstar at that point. But what really struck me was when I didn't know this was going to happen because Kevin Costner took a really good liking to me. And when it was time to take some of the other people to Los Angeles, he made sure that I was one of the ball players that went there. So
nice.
That was the greatest thing. This was early career. So this is how I got spoiled. So not only did they send a limo to pick me up, to take me to the airport, to fly to LAX, and we get to the first class with United Airlines, and I'm there with my man, and we're in the first class, and we have some drinks and all that. I don't even remember. I don't even remember the flight, man. By the time we got to LA, that's it. So here's the good part, and this is why you can get spoiled. So we get to LA, and you know how they have those cards with your name on it. I'll pick you up. This is Barry Bradford here. So I'm thinking, me and my man, we're going to the same spot. They're going to put us in the same car.
Yeah.
So limo. So no, he had a car, went there, and he walked his limo. And I was like, wow, we go in the same place, Universal Hilton Hotel. So no, this is how they do it big. So I was walking. The guy said, no, sir, your car is this way. I kept walking, and I had a super duper stretch limo straight out of the book. And I was like, oh no.
For Dolo, for yourself.
All for myself.
Oh man, you felt like Richie Rich, pimp.
Like super duper stars, man. And then the guy said, he rolls down the window. He says, oh, "Sir, you know, it's a little traffic on the 405. Do you mind if I take the scenic route?" I said, "Man, take whatever route you want. I'm chilling back here." So to make the story short, so when I get there to check in, the first person I see at the check-in is Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman, man. At the
Oh man, right in the height of all that
man,
craziness.
So I'm like, here's a guy from Brooklyn. This is big. Now you asked me about the first, so this is the first big thing I got. So I said, hey, this is a layup, man. This is gonna be good, man.
Hollywood is a shit, you know?
What? I was like, yo, so this is how constant these boys be rolling. All right, give you $100 per diem a day, man. I'm like, yo, I'm a star, man. You know, it's good stuff.
That's awesome, man. And I'm assuming the whole, you know, filming experience with Costner and everybody else was dope.
Oh, yeah. You know, not to say nothing, and this could be verified. For whatever reason, the guys will tell you. My man, comedian Greg Barnes is the guy who flew out there. He's a big comedian here in New York, works with Chris Rock and all that. But anyway, so for whatever reason, man, Kevin Costner took a real liking to me. He made sure, even though the lines got cut, he made sure I got a lot of lines in the movie, and he took care of me. He, you know, he even saw my skills. He said, you know, we're going to round up a party, man. Yo, Barry, I want you to go get, you know, some girls together who have pleasure. I said, well, yo, Costner, why you need me? So I said, no, I have confidence in you, man. You can do this. I said, all right, we do it. So, yeah.
That's all you need. That's all you need to hear, man.
It was dope. It was dope.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was that. I'm glad you asked that first big time story because that was my first taste of it. It didn't go like that after, but I was like, man, this shit is dope, man. Yeah.
So that you did the film before you was doing TV work?
No, actually, yeah. I had my first TV work, and where I got my SAG card was with the old soap operas. I did
okay.
Live and All My Children, a couple other things. And the real good, I'm giving y'all some good stuff here. Do you know I did All My Children with Kelly Ripa's first day on the set?
Really?
Her first day on All My Children. So we laugh about it because I'm friends with her husband, Mark Consuelos. So we laugh. Yeah, so I know her from way back.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was that. So I did soap operas, and in between I was doing plays, and you know, to also supplement my income at that time, I did some substitute teaching there in Brooklyn because you know the life is real, man. If you got a substitute, if you're not working all the time, you have to get some way to supplement your income, and this is what a lot of other actors coming up got to understand too. It's blind, and you still got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, you figure out most of the people out in LA, right? Like they mostly waiters and bartenders, and they got to keep flexible schedules.
Yep, they have to keep flexible because, right, you can't get into no full-time gig because if your agent or manager call you for a job, you got to be available to go to the audition. And at that time, you know, I don't want to date myself too much because it don't crack here, Black. But we had a beeper, man. You know, you have a beep, you get beeped, and you somebody called you. We want to see you on such and such. So you call back when you get to your phone and all that. This was before all the everybody walking around with a cell phone, so it's a lot different.
Gotcha. So what would be the next moment that was like a cool highlight? Because you know, people don't know, like you've been in a lot of big films.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You work with some amazing people. I don't want to, I'll just let it happen. But like, what would be the next thing?
Okay, the next thing that was kind of like, okay, so after I would say the next huge thing, which I made a lot of money on, was doing this iconic commercial with Kobe Bryant. Spike Lee was my director, and that was another great two Brooklyn guys, another great story. So
hold on, you can't just gloss over that. I got to know. You did a commercial with Kobe and Spike Lee.
And Spike Lee. And that's right. And so, I'm not going to gloss over because I got to give you the real stuff. First of all, here's the real good part of this. Do you know, I auditioned 6 times for the curse before I got hired. 6.
Wow.
And there was a 6 callback. So, we want to see him again. Got to see these guys again, see him again. So finally, your agent tells you, you got the job. So that was it. We shot down in Philly, Kobe's hometown. So it was really cool. So, but I remember this day like it was yesterday. I pulled up in a car because to the set, and here comes Spike. He's walking up, and he says, "So yo, B, you ready?" And I just said, "I'm from Brooklyn," and he didn't even. He just walked away. He said, "That's all. Yes." He said, you ready? He didn't even ask me. Just walked away. Yep, that is it. And we went ahead and did that, man. And it was that was my next biggest thing but you know what? On a serious note, what was so proud for me at that moment, my mother, who was the greatest human being I ever met, my late great mother. The reason why I'm so faithful, she was so. I can't even take the credit for my faith. I had my grandmother, my cousin, my mother that was so into it. That's why I am that way. But anyway, she got to see the commercial before she passed, man, and she was so. Man, every time I think about her face, every time the commercial would pop on, she'd be like beaming. And that meant more to me than the money, man, because just making mama proud, man, was like one of the greatest things that could happen for anyone, man, especially someone so selfless like my mom and we were so giving and so loving and so non-judgmental and just, like I said, the greatest human being I ever met. So that was really something to get her to see that.
Yeah, our parents do so much for, give you the opportunity to kind of chase these dreams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, so I'm curious, on those callbacks, was Spike there, or were you just like, with the casting director?
No, Spike, after the third time, Spike was there. He was sitting in front. And the thing is I was, I could tell I was doing all right because he was cracking up at the stuff I was doing. Like, you see, he was like doubled over because we were ad-libbing some stuff, and I was telling the guy, yeah, blah blah blah, man, you don't need no tickets to the game. You selling popcorn, peanuts, all that, and he was cracking up, man. And so it was so cool to get that approval, and then get, like, I'm telling you, the last call back, before I got back in the car to go back to New York, I got a call from me saying that you got the job. So that was quick. Oh,
that's relieving, really man.
Cool. That was dope, man, because it was like not even after. I didn't wait 15 minutes. I was back in the car. Oh, they said you're hired. I said, oh man, that's good. And then so that was really the next big kind of thing that I did.
Did you get to? Was Kobe there or no?
No, Kobe was in Los Angeles, but actually, what way it went out, it went so well. I did a radio spot thing, and he was on the other. I did a radio spot with him. He was on LA both times, but he was in LA, and they spliced him in. So it was so cool, man. And,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's dope, man, and it's something that we're linked together forever now. So that's
man. Rest in peace, man. To the great Kobe, and he was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Just this weekend, deservedly. Yep. Obviously one of the greatest ever. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. It was a Sprite commercial, right?
Yeah, Sprite.
Sprite with Spike and Kobe. You can't make that up, man. That's incredible.
That's incredible. You can't make this up, man, because it's something, it'll be here long after I'm here, gone. I mean, it's just something that's like what we leave, a legacy of stuff. It's so cool, man, and I'm so proud of it, man. And got to work with a top flight director, Spike Lee, Brooklynite, and so that's the other thing that I'm if you look on my IMDb, it's not a huge amount of quantity, but I've worked with so many Academy Award winners. We're talking about Paul Haggis, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, Spike Lee, Kathy Bates. I mean, giants, Sidney Lumet, Lawrence Bender I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed, man. So I've really been around some incredible people in the industry.
Hold on. So I want to get into that. I want to hear about it. You know what I mean? Because
sure.
Because it's good that the journey is all what matters. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes you appreciate everything because you had to work so hard to get to it.
That's right.
So all right. So did the Sprite commercial. I'm pretty sure that was like what, a day or two work or something like that.
Yeah.
Not even one day.
Yeah, one day.
All right. So was there a TV gig that you booked next, or is there like a film that came, down the line or something? Well, what was the next situation that panned out?
You got a future in this interviewing thing because it's good. Because as a matter of fact, the next thing that I did after that was a huge TV thing, and you're gonna love this, was The Wire. So I was on a real roll. I went from Sprite to The Wire, and everybody said, "Man, you Sprite, that you on The Wire now, man." So that was like of course, as you know, The Wire is one of the greatest TV shows ever. I think maybe the greatest. And
I didn't want to cut you off, but I was gonna say, I honestly think it's the greatest television show ever made.
I do too.
Not that there isn't other shows that have an appeal and a likeness that's beyond regular. It's just that The Wire is created, filmed, and told in a way that no other show is done.
That's
No
so.
other show, no other show, in my opinion. I watch a lot of damn TV. I ain't got none of the time. No other show made a city a main character and then just filled in the pieces and gave you this real life look. So hold on. So you get a gig on The Wire. What was that like? Give me the lowdown on that.
Oh man, that was something. So I get called in to audition for 2 different roles. So I didn't know, and then I went in for 2 different roles, and they both went well. And they told me it would be like 2-3 episodes, and I would do, and that they would let me know. So I went in, I was excited, and I found that I got the role. They're still trying to decide what they want to do with me. So they wanted they created a new role for this guy that was like a mystery in the Barksdale administration, but people didn't know what he was about, and he was about to do his thing, but it was going to be a mystery kind of. So
hold on. Let me pause for a second. What season is this? Is this the first season, second season?
This is the first season.
It's the first season. All right.
So
so this is out the gate. You on The Wire?
Right out the gate with Wood and Idris and Elba and all these guys, Michael K. These guys. These are my boys, man. So this is a really cool. And like I said, it came at a time. So yeah, let me backtrack a little bit. So when I get to the set after I get the job. Now there's Idris, there's Wood Harris, and he said, "Damn man, I ain't never got no Sprite commercial. That's dope, man." He's like, "Yo."
So you got them saying that to you?
They were teasing me. I said, "But you guys got a regular gig here, man. Y'all doing all right, And they were like, "Yeah, man, but that commercial money good." I said, "Yeah." So we had.
So hold on, let me jump in for a second. So when you get on the set of The Wire, right?
Right.
First season, they're like what, midway through the season, I'm assuming, right?
Midway.
A bunch of episodes in.
Yes.
Idris Elba is not Idris Elba that we know now at that point. You know what I'm saying? Who's the biggest person on that set? Wood Harris is probably got the biggest name.
Wood Harris, because and he and I go back to college days. We both did a student film from the director Malcolm Lee. So I've known Wood for a long time. I've known Wood Harris for a long time. We worked for Malcolm Lee, who's a big director now. I did one of Malcolm's thesis films and was a lead in that, and so did Wood. Wood did one of his films. So yeah, I would say he was the big actor at that time, Wood Harris, for sure.
Okay. And all right, so I ain't gonna cut you off. So go ahead. So you down there? It's in Bmore, I'm assuming, right? They really shot it. They shot it in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So the character you had, they had to make a new character for you in The Wire.
Yeah, because like I said, when I went in for 2 different characters, they weren't sure what they were going to do. The writers were working, and at the time, one of the producers, Bob Colesbury, who's passed on now, really great